I am creating the most advanced monster AI ever made. There's just one problem. I have never made AI before in my life, and little did I know, but I was about to start a crazy adventure learning this stuff, and I could have never expected how it would all turn out. At the end of this video, I am going to show you a crazy new ability that I created for the monster based on your guys' feedback. It takes things to the next level, and I have an insane announcement that's so excited you guys are probably gonna your. Now let's stop wasting time and get right into it. I am no stranger to AI itself. In fact, I've made 2 games previously, Motherhub and Habilis, both which use a pre-made system, one that I bought off the Unity store. This would allow me to create a lot of the basic functionality you might expect in an RPG, but none of the things I pictured in my head, and no way to create a hyper-realistic AI monster. I would have to build this system from the ground up, from scratch, all on my own. Oh, before I forget, I actually hid 5 keys to Dead Exhale. That's the game with this AI in it. In this very video, there's even one in the next minute. Now, how do I start making AI? The first thing I needed to do was understand how AI works. And there is no better way to do this than to look at the successful examples throughout time. And that's where Bezi came in. Imagine Google search or ChatGPT on steroids, and it runs right inside my programming window? What? I asked Bezi what are popular designs for AI creation. Bezi broke down what potential routes I had, how difficult each one was to make, and what cases they were used in. This is how I landed on a state-based system for my monster Cassiel. You see, as a solo developer, it's so easy to get stuck in a circle and not know what to do. Well, Bezi just makes me a better, faster me. No more hangups. I don't think people understand Bezi doesn't create my projects. It's simply the best brainstorming partner I can have. And once I've created an idea, I activate agent mode, which knows exactly what scripts and the context to use them in for my project. And if I make a mistake, I can roll back with the click of a button. Faster flow means more games, and that's more for you guys to play. And it's just nice to not feel alone anymore. Get started on your dream game. Try Bezi for free. The link below. Now that we've selected our state system, some of you are probably wondering what a state system is. When examples come to mind, the first one for me is always Outlast. States include things the AI can do. Walking, running, searching, climbing, things like that. But was there a more advanced example of these states? That's when I discovered a game called Rain World. What an incredible and inspiring project that is. Every single AI in the game reacts with every other single AI, an incredible network. It's not just a game, it's an ecosystem. But this wasn't quite right for my project. Not only was it far too large of a scope, but all of these AIs were advanced and working together. I needed an example of an AI that was very advanced on its own. But what would that be? Then I discovered Alien Isolation. It was the ultimate example of an advanced AI, or actually 2 AIs that work together. A sort of boss that tells the alien where to go and what to do, and when the alien gets there, the AI still has to find you. Understanding this was part of the first step in creating a super advanced AI monster. And now that I had a baseline knowledge, I began my rapid development. First, I implemented a state system: idle, patrolling, searching, chasing, killing, ambushing. Next, I added substates, states within states, kind of like Inception, but less Leonardo dating teenage girls. These states mean if the monster is chasing you, he could activate some different unexpected behaviors. You see, one thing that kind of always bugged me is that in video games, the horror monster just chases you in a straight line, running straight at you no matter what. I wanted something different. I wanted our monster to feel intelligent. Herein lies an issue that I didn't even think about until the game was playtested, with over 1,000 people over the course of July. You see, we are so trained that when a monster sees us, it chases us. And if they do anything else, we assume it's broken. It's kind of crazy, but one of these substates I made was called Taunt, where he would just stop and watch you. I thought it was brilliant. However, in the player's perception, he was just getting stuck. So I realized the stopping needed to seem like it had purpose. And so around that, I created his invisibility technique. He would stop, raise his arms up, turn invisible, and now it felt like it was an intention. And I also used a really creepy sound. I made this sound with a combination of babies and women crying, and this really makes me seem sick in the head. But I was simply thinking, what are primal sounds that we just don't want to hear? The other issue with him stopping and watching you was it made the game too easy for some people. So I left that behavior in normal mode, but in hard and hell mode, taunting is removed. But it wasn't enough. People were now saying hell mode was too easy. So I amped up his speed by about 100%, and I made it so he can hear along the whole map. Oh, and did I mention he can hear your microphone at all times? Better not scream. All of these things put us so much closer to creating the world's most advanced AI monster, but we weren't done yet. Next, I created a evolving difficulty system. So if a player is having a really hard time with the monster and they're playing in normal mode, the easiest difficulty, he actually just goes in timeout. Look at him sitting on his punishment sphere. Poor guy, he just wants to kill you. And if you are constantly outsmarting him, he becomes faster, increasing his hearing range. This evolving difficulty system ensures that every player has a unique and difficult experience, perfectly catered to their skill level. This makes our AI monster more intelligent than ever. But what other abilities could he have to show his intelligence? A couple of things I added then were herding and blood sense. Herding is an ability that a sheepdog would do. Cassiel would activate this when he sensed you were in a dead end. Rather than chasing you down then, he begins to move more slowly, rushing to block off potential exits, pushing you into a corner before charging in and killing you. Now, Blood Sense, on the other hand, was inspired by the Bracken in Lethal Company. He would track you down silently, and you'd be dead before you even knew what happened. Well, I decided that less was more, actually, and now we accidentally had two systems that do the same thing. You see, the AI director already tells the monster where the player is, and with two systems battling for control over the AI, he would sometimes just get stuck. Part of creating a super advanced AI is knowing when you've potentially overcluttered his behaviors. So I've temporarily disabled Blood Sense until I've given it more thought. However, to my surprise, this actually made the monster just feel better, and I think this took Cassiel to the next level, and it advanced our AI farther than I ever thought we could. And I've realized that in some situations, less really is more. Rather than constantly adding features, I should be fine-tuning and improving the ones I already have. Now, at this point, there was one thing all of you had been asking for. You wanted Cassiel to be able to walk on the ceilings and the walls. After all, he was a spider. And this was actually a very, very difficult task for me. One that took me months to figure out. And I wasn't even doing it alone. I had the help of the person who created the procedural animation asset that controls the legs of Cassiel. He reached out to me and decided to upgrade it. He made it so it could rotate the monster and attach him appropriately as he moved between systems. Now I just needed to wrap my head around how I can trick Unity into baking pathways for our monster onto surfaces that weren't just the floor, because this isn't built into Unity itself. And even then, Cassiel just didn't want to do it. He wouldn't put his feet up on the walls. He thought it was icky. But over time and testing, he can finally walk anywhere. And that creates this feeling like, oh, you know he's near, but where? This took our monster to the next level of intelligence, but I didn't anticipate the problem I had now created, because he can be anywhere, and because sometimes he can almost be completely invisible. Players were now dying without having any idea why. Many people reported sudden deaths for no reason. They assumed it was a bug, not realizing Cassiel was slowly descending upon them, nearly invisible from the ceiling. And people just weren't ready for this. But that was my fault, and I realized something had to be done. So I devised a system inspired by Dead by Daylight. When you get near the monster, your character Thea holds her breath, and the screen shakes. As you do so, veins begin to fade in. They gradually grow more red as he gets closer. Your heartbeat can also be heard and grows faster. And when he's gone, your character lets out a sigh of relief and the veins fade. This system gives you a really nice audio and visual cue. So now you know when he's near, you just don't know exactly where he is. It's just enough to build anticipation, but not too much that the mystery is gone. This was a huge jump for the feel of the game, and it makes our AI feel even more intelligent by not feeling like he can just randomly kill you through walls. We've made some serious progress towards our goal, and I think I'm ready to tell you guys my huge announcement. And after that, I will reveal a new feature the AI can do, and it's so incredible I wish I had done it earlier, and you guys suggested it. Anyway, here's my news. The Dead Exhale demo is live on Steam right now. There's a link below, so make sure you open that up in a new tab. And when this video is over, I want you guys jumping in and experiencing it for yourself. You can decide if I'm on the right track. Oh, and make sure to leave a review for me on Steam after you play the demo, because that helps me out a ton. And guess what, guys? That's not the only announcement. I tricked you. I decided to quit my main job. Thanks to Bezzy for the sponsorships, you guys for subbing on Patreon, and all the thousands of sales on my previous games. I finally have enough income to do this full time. That means more games faster and more videos on YouTube. I am so freaking excited to begin my dream life. Now, let's talk about that one ability that changes how you play Dead Exhale. And before I reveal it to you, first we must understand the problem. You guys just felt too safe in the vents. Like nothing could get to you. Like a safe little baby in a crib. Countless comments of how you wanted Cassiel to reach in and tickle you, or something of the sort. I told my wife about this issue, and it was her suggestion that inspired my approach. She said, what if he spawned maggots? Ones that would crawl down the body and track down the player. I immediately loved this idea. Here's how it works. When the monster goes from chasing to searching, we can only assume that he's lost track of the player, whether they went in a vent, or they're hiding under a table, or maybe they just went around the corner. This triggers an event that spawns a maggot. These maggots can't see or hear, but they're just simply compelled to find a dark, safe place to hide and repopulate. And guess what? They really don't like sharing their home with you. When spawned in, they will travel to the nearest safe place you can hide and patrol, looking for a home. If they come within a distance of you, they shriek and speed up. And if they catch you, they kill you in a terrible way. Oh, and they're voiced by Ash himself. He wanted to be involved after playing the demo on his stream. Well, not only might his voice sound familiar, but there's a sound that the monster makes right before he releases one of these maggots. It sounds like this. Where have you heard that before, you might ask yourself? I used Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, Coriox Kenshin, and Queso's screams to make this sound effect. Only they don't know it yet, and that's where I need your help. Go to their latest videos, tell them that their scream is in Dead Exhale, used to make the monster more terrifying. That would help me out so much. If one of them play the game, that would actually change my life. Well guys, I think I've done it. We've created the most advanced monster AI ever made. But is it enough? No, it's never enough, and that's why I need your help. Comment below how I can improve Cassiel's behaviors, or any ideas for the game you might have. And thank you to my current Patreon supporters, allowing me to do this full time, and they get to play the full version of the game as it comes out. Now guys, go play the Dead Exhale demo right now, like right freaking now, at the link below. This has been Seth of Odale Studios, bye!